Hey, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Drew, aka Booty Sweat, and it really sucks to make a video like this. I'm not a dramatic person. I'm not a person who thrives on negativity. That's not this channel. It never will be. I never have been that way. But I just had to get this off my chest, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me about the problem that I really have with how this has all gone down in terms of Mortal Kombat 11 no longer getting support, no longer having any additional DLC, things like that. Now, let me be clear up front. I have been basically expecting this for a while. You had the really hype We Play tournament, you had the movie come out, you've got an announcement for the next animated movie, you've got all this stuff going on that would be excellent for NRS to tie into the game, get hype going for the game, and we've had nothing but silence. So that has indicated to me for a while now that they're probably done releasing like DLC and stuff for this game. So that's really no surprise to me. However, kind of what I have a problem with, and I think a lot of people agree with me, is the way that this was handled in terms of just kind of silence and then eventually just letting MK11 die with a whimper. I have a problem with this for a couple of reasons. The main reason is that, for one, they said at the beginning that this was going to be the most supported MK game that they've ever done, that there was going to be at least 2 years of support, probably more, all of this kind of stuff, right? Well, they waited until this point to let us know, hey, MK11, it's done. We're not doing any more DLC. We're not doing anything like that. They may do some like balance changes here and there. I don't know. I won't hold my breath for that kind of stuff, but it's certainly within the realm of possibility. However, for sure, we're getting no more DLC characters, no more stages, you know, none of that kind of stuff. And so that's official. But again, you know, they said that this game was going to be supported, and they've waited this long just to say it's been radio silence for however long. And then they just now decided to let us know. So I think that the timing of this has been very strategic, and that they can say, hey, we have supported the game all the way up from April of 2019 all the way to July of 2021. Look, that's even over 2 years, just like we said. Isn't that great? Problem is, everyone really knows the truth, which is that they haven't really been supporting this game in terms of new content, new reasons to be excited for it, that kind of thing, since like November of last year. November 2020 is when Ultimate came out. We haven't really gotten anything since then. Again, I'm not the kind of person that thinks that we need to have like a new character every 3 months or I'm not happy. That's not me. I don't really mind that. But I do appreciate some communication from the developers of a competitive online game, a game that has like a big tournament scene and all this kind of stuff. You really want to have that communication from the devs. And we just haven't had that, and you know, it's just really disingenuous for them to be like, well, we definitely supported it for 2 years, when in reality it was more like, what, 17 months or so. So I'm not necessarily unhappy with the amount of content that we got in MK11. I think the roster is a pretty decent size. I think the stages are cool, and we have enough of them. We got 2 story modes. You know, all of this kind of stuff. I think that there's a decent amount of content in MK11. People can argue up and down about the quality of that content. I can argue about it too, because I really hate Towers of Time. But, you know, you can't really argue that there isn't a lot to experience in the game. Regardless of the execution or how it's implemented, it's there, right? But the problem really comes into, again, this lack of communication. But then also my second big issue is actually with Ed Boon himself. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm kind of fed up with like his antics on Twitter and stuff like that. So the way that they left the game off is, first of all, him antagonizing the player base a little bit by calling us self-entitled, things like that. I already don't like being spoken to that way, but in addition, you know, we had hopes up for characters like Havoc, Reptile, other characters that he very, very steadily and heavily hinted that would be in the game, right? These are things that he did on Twitter. He went to Twitter and he had to, you know, get on there and make people excited about things. And I don't know if that was just trolling. Lots of people say that he's a troll and all that kind of stuff. But there's trolling, and then there's like kind of being dishonest with the marketing of your game, right? Because you're the face of Mortal Kombat. Everyone knows Ed Boon is like the guy who made Mortal Kombat, right? And you're like still in a pretty high position at NRS and you're still calling shots. So when you go to Twitter and you start making tweets about heavily implying that Reptile's going to be in the game, heavily implying that other characters are coming, that you know whatever it is, people are going to latch on to that. And you have to know that, or else you have to be stupid, right? The only way to not realize that people are going to really take that to heart, take the things that you say with, you know, some kind of authority, you'd have to be so dumb. And I don't think he's dumb, or maybe he is, I don't know. I think more he's just kind of fed up with us, and it's kind of making me fed up with him. Because I've never been the kind of person, I don't send death threats over Melina not being in the game, right? I don't do that. And I don't think the majority of the community does that. That's a very small percentage of the community that does stupid crap like that. And so for the rest of us to have to just kind of put up with the incessant trolling and the teasing and all this kind of stuff, and basically we just have to twiddle our thumbs and be like, well, Boone will be Boone. I'm not really about that. I don't think that that's good. That's not a good look. That's not the relationship that other devs have with their communities at all. I don't think it's a healthy relationship. I don't think that it's going to garner them any additional support. Yes, their next game will sell well. Of course it will. That's not what I'm saying. But I don't know. I'm just kind of tired of it. I think that it's unprofessional. I think that it's a bad look. I think Ed wants to be like in on the joke, but he doesn't really realize, I think, that he's becoming more the butt of the joke. He kind of is the joke at this point. And being the face of your company and the face of your franchise, that's just not a good look. You don't want to be a joke in the eyes of your own community, you know what I mean? And maybe he doesn't care, but I think he should. And I don't know. So I'm not, whether or not MK11 gets more DLC or whatever, COVID may have been a reason why. Maybe they were planning on doing more DLC, but they just weren't able to get to it. Whatever the reason, you just shouldn't behave this way, in my opinion. I think that the behavior is really the problem for me, not whether or not we're getting more DLC. I'm not going to stamp my feet. Reptile's my favorite MK character. He's not in this game. I'm not going to stamp my feet and whine about it. But I am going to call out obnoxious behavior when I see it. And I think this has truly been some obnoxious behavior on the part of NRS and particularly Ed Boon. So anyway, that's enough complaining. I don't want to be too negative. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Am I one of those entitled man babies or whatever, even though I'm not demanding anything other than somebody to act respectable? But I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. More MK content is coming later. Let me know if you're interested in other fighting game content. I've been noticing that the other fighting game content that I put up doesn't typically do as well. The Milia guide that I did for Guilty Gear Strive is doing really well. But it seems like most of you guys just want to see MK stuff, so just kind of let me know. But yeah, like and subscribe, have a good one, and be blessed.